There is a Coffee with a Cop event coming up on Thursday. So if you can make that, please do try to do that. It's offered by the South Fulton Police Department. We have a book drive that's still going on today for Black History Month, where you can donate your books with Black authors or featuring diverse characters. But beginning tomorrow, which is National Reading Month, you can donate any books from any author, and that'll be going on throughout the whole month of March. We also will have another CPR training at the end of the month. You should have received your top 5 newsletter today. If you didn't, send me a direct message in the chat and I'll make sure that you get your copy. Okay, is Councilman Reeves here and are you ready? Okay.
All right, I am unmuted now. All right, awesome. And thank you everyone who has come on. We really do appreciate you. And also too, we have 2 individuals today. The first one is going to announce their organization. Who do we have, Brandy or Christian? Who do we have? She's on mute. She's on mute. You're on mute, Christian.
Oh, I'm on mute?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. She's a member of our D5 nonprofit cohort. So Ms. Bush, go ahead and give your introduction to women's wellness and awareness. And after that, we have Joyce Armster from the Old National Area Residents United. Ms. Bush, it's your stage.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Siobhan Bush, and I am the founder of Women's Wellness and Awareness. We are a nonprofit for women, a support group here in the South Fulton and Atlanta area. So we are currently working with women who are looking for jobs, either home loss, just due to the pandemic. I know everybody is still recovering. So our vision is to have a sisterhood of collaboration of women and entrepreneurs supporting future entrepreneurs, just allowing everybody to start this new journey off right and prepare them properly, and just kind of create a solid foundation for them, whether it's increasing finances or financial awareness, building their confidence, motivation, inspiring them to chase after their dreams. So that is what we are here for. We have a great event coming up in May, a Mother's Day event that will be coming up. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be sending out tickets for everybody to register for that. And that's pretty much it. So right now, I am available for those who are in need, or if you know someone who is in need of hygiene products, or they might have had any type of unforeseen circumstances, fires, whatnot. We do have clothing and other things of that nature. So I will leave my information in the message and a link to my email that everyone can contact me if you know of anyone needing those services.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bush. If you don't mind, could you say your website out loud in case someone wants to write it down?
The website is www.wwawareness.org.
Okay, and we'll put that in the chat along with her email and contact information. Thank you so much, Ms. Bush, for being here and being available to serve District 5. Do we have Ms. Armster on here yet? It doesn't look like it, Councilman Reeves.
Okay, well, look here. Thank you, young lady, for your great organization. And also, too, tomorrow starts National Reading Month. But does anyone else know what the month of March is as well? I'm going to let people just take a wild stab at it. Does anybody else know what March is?
This is Ernestine Sumlin. It's Women's History Month.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Sumlin. And you're absolutely right. And this young lady is on the way to making history as well. And so, and because of this Women's History Month, I am, because I am all about God's greatest creation on this planet. And so if you know a woman who has made history or making history, please send that information locally. Please send that information in, as I want to highlight them in our newsletters, and our publications, anything that we do, any women-owned products that people know, women-owned businesses that people know of, please let us know. And anything that we do, we will do our absolute best. What we will do is anything that we need to put out, we will acquire from them, because I do believe in support, not just in name, but economically as well. And so, and March is all about reading and women. And so we will definitely want to acknowledge them and bring them and highlight them, particularly anybody who is local. So if you know anyone, please send them our way, as we will definitely do that. Thank you, young lady. And if anybody has any women's clothes that they need to donate, I'm pretty sure her organization would accept them. Just go get them dry cleaned and or washed, and then, I guess, go donate them to her organization so that she can definitely help out women in need, particularly in this area. Okay, well, in lieu of Miss Armster coming on, just let me know if she arrives. But I do want to update the community as well on some legislation that took place last week, Tuesday, at our first in-person council meeting. To those who can make it in person, thank you. For those who tuned in, thank you. And so we do want to know that with the Stacks Road Bridge, that there was an emergency ordinance that I walked on last week, Tuesday, to get that Stacks Road Bridge repaired as an emergency repair and as an emergency ordinance, as an emergency procurement. That being said, we are working that, and I'm aiming to have that done. I'm pushing to have that done by May 1st, which is our birthday, and we turn 5. And so, because that has been out for it has been out for 2 years, exactly this month with March. And so that we want that to be repaired so we can get back to semi-normal activities, as we, use that as a cut through when the train blocks the tracks, i.e. on Fairwood or i.e. on Mallory and 29. So that has been the case, that is the case. And so we're working that angle to ensure that happens. And so I did want to update the constituency on that. But anybody else has anything else that they would like to talk about, speak about, legislative wise, peer wise, complaint wise, praise wise, whatever? And so, because Ms. Armstrong is not on, so she's not here to talk about Old Narrow and the great things that she's doing over there. So she said she'll be on in about 10 minutes. So in lieu of, does anybody have anything that they want to talk about?
This is Glenda Collins.
Sister Collins, how are you?
All right, how are you? First of all, I want to thank you for the progress on Stacks Road.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we're looking forward to that, as well as the bonus for the police. Thank you for that. And
Yes.
also, okay, and another thing is, could you please tell us when the next Amnesty Day is
The
at
next Amnesty
Montrose?
Day for trash, right? We usually have one in the as early spring and in the fall, and so we didn't have one last fall. We're actually working on that and working on a date to have that accomplished. So I can't tell you that there has not been a date um, executed as of right now, but as soon as we get one locked down, I will be able to share that with you.
Okay, and also the light at Pebble Beach and Fairwood for the school traffic. That light doesn't work to tell us what our speed limit is.
Correct. That's into a C-click fix, and that request was acknowledged and sent in, and I was replied back by Public Works that was working, and I replied back to them that is incorrect. They received the wrong information because the light is still out. As the last time I traveled down that road, it is not operational. So thank you for making us aware of that again. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Corey.
So, okay, I'm sorry. This was Jane. You can go ahead, sir. I apologize.
Yes, please raise your hands if you have something to say so that we can.
Driving.
All right. I apologize to my hand wasn't up, but Corey,
I couldn't see it.
Corey, someone mentioned to me that we had another accident at Fairwood and 29 today. And I know that maybe they may be working on a light or something up there, but I mean, this is happening too frequently, but seems like no one seems to take notice of it. I was wondering, is there any kind of plan to have a light or even a widening of that street so that there'll be a turning lane and up there, something, because something has to be done because too many people are getting hurt or dying up there.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. We are looking at that intersection to put a light at Fairwood and Highway 29, as well as Mallory and Highway 29, as well as Spur 14 and Highway 29, which is a total improvement of about $750,000 to $800,000 just to install the stoplights. And so, but that is something that GDOT has to work out because that's a state road. And so we're making our appeal to GDOT Region 4.
Is there anything that the citizens can do to write them, to make them sort of understand that this is an urgent situation here?
Yes, sir. I will get you the name to the Area 4 regional person for GDOT, as well as Langston Johnson used to be our representative that we can, have direct contact with. He has since been promoted and moved up, and I have not yet received the person who is in his stead and took his place over in Region 4. We do, however, can get you the information of the area supervisor who is over GDOT. So we will be sending that information out to you.
All right, thanks.
And can you make sure I have your email address? Can you direct message me just to make sure we have it?
Okay.
Your phone number.
All right.
Okay. Next, I'm going to call on Jacqueline Baker. If you can unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I live in the Magnolia Walk subdivision, and my question is relative to paving the streets. I've been over here for 20 years, and they have never paved Broadleaf Avenue or any of the streets in the subdivision since I moved in. So is there a plan? I believe those streets are owned by the city, and they really desperately need repaving.
Yes, ma'am. There is a plan to repave them. They're not on the current list of repaving streets. However, the Magnolia Walk subdivision, I will ensure that they'll be on the next round or the round that's after or basically put on the list of the streets to be repaved and resurfaced.
And when does that next list come out?
They're still finishing up this one, and I think that's going to be under T-Splash 2, if I'm not mistaken. So that project should be starting either late fall of this year or early part of next year.
Oh my gosh, so we have to wait that long?
Unfortunately, ma'am, that is the bureaucratic process, and I hate to tell you anything otherwise and to promise you anything sooner when, you know, that's just the realistic timeline, and I do apologize. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Well, okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Ms. Baker, for your question. The next hand we have up is from Fieldwood HOA.
Yes, this Miss Johnson.
Hi, Ms.
Thank you, Corey and council people for Stack Road. My question is still on that house in front of Fieldwood Middle School. I have been working on that forever. Can you tell me where are we with that? That house scares me when I'm walking, and I know children walking by that house going to school. Where are we with that house? And then number two, I asked for some kind of stop sign at Fairwood and Pepper Beach, because at 2 o'clock, trying to get out Pepper Beach, it is a disaster. So where are we with those two things?
The house is put on the project list of with code enforcement. The label of them they have not labeled a tier 1, which is a demolition. So we're trying to get that on the list to have the clean and close, to be at least boarded up and cleaned up around the area. I would really like that house to be on the tier 1 and to be demolished. And so that's what that project, but it is on the list within code enforcement. The project with the stop sign at Pebble Beach, it's actually the stop sign at Pebble Beach and the left turn signal at from Flat Shoals onto Fairwood. Those are 2 in the same, and those projects are the replacement projects of the many roundabouts that was going to come at Fairwood and Benchmark and Fairwood and Morning Creek Drive. So I'm just waiting on Public Works to switch those projects out and bring back forth to the with staff to bring back forth to the council those plan changes and implementation date of that will be happening.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mary Cranford, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, how's everyone doing today? Okay, my question or actually to Mr. Reed, if we send you a message the next door, do you respond to those messages or no?
Ma'am, I'm gonna be honest with you. Any message that's on next door is on next door. But if you send me an email to my corey.reeves@cityofsouthfultonga.gov, all messages, even if you copy and paste those messages to that email, I will be able to respond in an official capacity and an official manner. But no, ma'am, I do not receive the comments from next door. So, but if you can send them to my official email, like I said, even if you copy and paste other issues, but I do peruse through Nextdoor and read through Nextdoor, but I know your comments don't go unheard now. I do read them, but I just don't respond on Nextdoor. And so, but if you send them out on to my official email capacity, I can give you an authoritative response.
Okay, so you say you do read them?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I sent you regarding to Ms. Baker, what she was saying. I'm also in Magnolia Walk, and I sent you a message on next door last year, when you was in office, and I was inquiring about the same thing, road being paved. And right after you went into office, I noticed that the subdivision right across from us at Magnolia Walk also, and they were paid, look like right away. So that's why I'm wondering why it's going to take so long for us when theirs got paid right after you went into office.
Well, those was on when I took office, all that they was already in the middle of the ones that was being paid on the current list from the T-Splot one deal. So because we had the same issue over in Three Lakes as opposed out there to right across the street coming off of and on Jerome Road. And so that was already in process and in progress. And so when I took a look at the list of the ones that was paid on the list, we was able to change and get some that wasn't paid in those communities, as in Three Lakes, because those complaints went on the list prior. And so Magnolia Walk is now on that. It's not on the same list, it's on the list within GDOT, within our Public Works Division, to be paved and resurfaced. And so I can't explain how some areas across the street got paid before other communities, and there's some newer subdivisions that got paid before older subdivisions. And I'm not quite sure how that process works, as I believe in, as you say, a chain of command, or as you say, as an order sequence, that I believe in older communities should be prioritized to be paid first and then come on up to the newer subdivisions. But everybody has the same complaints and things of that nature, because I do understand, your gripe. And if I did not respond to your request on next door, that's if it was a request on I don't know if it's on the board or is it a private request, I'll go look back at that. But as again stated, please, if you're on next door, know anybody, I'm begging of you to send me an email. I promise, send me an email on my Corey.Reeves on the City of South Fulton email. I promise you'll be responded to in that platform.
Oh, okay.
I beg of you to just send the email there. And as I peruse and read through Nextdoor as Friday nights, I don't watch TV. That's my Friday night entertainment reading, as I do have to know what's going on in the street and what is being said. And some issues I'm already aware of because I do read them. So I just go ahead and address them with staff and tell staff to do that as well as we try to get staff to look at Nextdoor as a platform and look at the community complaints, so that they too can see that it's not coming from us, but it's coming directly from you. But if you want a direct authoritative response from me, please send me an email and I will respond.
Oh, okay. I checked today and the message was still there. So
okay, well, just forward it to me on my email. I will get that request. I promise I will.
Oh, okay. All right.
And Ms. Cranford, in Councilman Reeves' defense, there was a substantial amount of time last year when he was working on his own without support. So we do apologize.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, if my message was there from last year, if you could expedite it, that would help.
Hey, that's a reasonable request, and that can be handled. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. and thank you for your services.
Thank you for your question. Our next question will be Ms. Ferguson, Carmen Ferguson, if you would please unmute yourself.
Thank you. My name is Carmen Ferguson, and I live in a community called Ponderosa. I have two questions. We have been trying for actually some years. It's a small community, but we have 4 main streets that people sometimes think are drag race streets. And we've had a few mailboxes knocked over through the years. We're trying to get speed breakers for those 4 main streets, at least 4 speed breakers per street. And is there a process, or we used to, before we became a city, try to go through, I think it was Public Works, but anyway, that didn't happen. So how should we handle getting speed breakers or requests for those in our community? That's my
Well,
first question. I do have
right.
another
Well,
question.
right. To answer the first question, last year we did. There was a resolution passed where money was allocated for speed bumps in communities. You still have. There's a public works process that they put out of how to get that accomplished. And Kristen, let's make sure we email that over to Ms. Ferguson this evening, and I'll email you the process on what they have of how you get that accomplished. And so I'm still trying to get the process out of the way to where the community have to pay for the speed bumps to have them installed. So, but that was a situation that was rectified through resolution of last year.
So are you saying that the community has to pay for that?
No, there was some money set aside for the
Okay.
community to be paid. But however, the process that has not been going away still call for the community to pay for the speed bumps to be installed. That's first you got to get signatures, then you got to get a study. I mean, it's right, exactly. And so that's what I want eliminated. And so I will send that over to you so you can have the actual factual information on the process that is from step A, B, C, and D to get that accomplished.
Okay. My second question, we are in the process of putting up more decorative new signs in our community. We're putting up on the 3 main streets, we're putting up signs that actually are the same size as the ones we currently have. So there's no issue with those. However, the sign at the corner of Red Oak and Flat Shows where the traffic light is, I don't know how this man did it, but he ran over our little sad looking sign. And it has been upright now for the past few weeks. The man whose house sits back from there says that it's his property, and he's gotten information from the young man that ran into the signs, his insurance company. But we are being told that it really is right-of-way property that belongs to the city of South Fulton. And I guess we're trying to figure out how do we get not that same sign, but a replacement sign put up. I'm assuming his insurance will pay for something, I'm not sure. But I did speak with someone in code enforcement, and they told me I needed to speak with Public Works or somebody to come out and actually survey the property. I either look at the map to say this belongs to city or this belongs to the resident that lives there. Nothing happened to him, but I don't know, if he's trying to get the insurance money, and hopefully we'll do the right thing and get a sign put back up there. But what should we do? How should we handle that?
Well, let's have an offline conversation, and we're gonna get Mr. Roussan Francois to answer that for you, and we can jump on a 3-way call and get that rectified. Go ahead, Kristen.
Councilman Reeves, this is.
Go ahead, Sheila.
We had that same problem where somebody had an accident. Our sign, the marquee was down for a while. I work with the insurance company, and the insurance company paid us the check, and we hired somebody to come out and replace the sign. That's how you get it replaced. Remember over in Red Oak Wood, somebody did the same thing. It was an accident, and they tore down our marquee.
Yes, ma'am. I remember y'all got that handled.
Okay, Miss Ferguson, you know who I am. I'm over in Red Oak Wood subdivision right next to you. You can contact me too after you contact Public Works, because we had this same problem, and and I can tell you how the procedure we went through to get the insurance company to come out and replace ours. Ours was replaced by the insurance company of the driver who was at fault.
That is absolutely correct. That is correct. And I believe they had the same issue, it was a right-of-way deal as well?
That's correct. And yes, the insurance company of the driver. That's correct. We got the police report. We found out who the insurance company was. We contacted the insurance company, sent them the police report. That's how we got it taken care of. They sent us the check. We hired somebody to come in and put the sign back
And
up
when
with
you
the check.
say us, you mean your homeowners association, right?
Basically, yes. Yeah, we don't really have, yes, that's basically how it happened. That's correct.
All
The
right.
check was made out in the subdivision's name. That is correct.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
because like I said, we'll have to deal with this, but this person is claiming, no, that's on my property. So
No, it's the subdivision's property. He trying to get that check. That's what that is.
exactly.
Right. And you know, and thank you, Sheila, because that I do remember that, and y'all were so vigilant about that happening, and they was on it, and it was done within, I think, 3 to 4 months of it happening. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a real scenario. So yes,
Okay.
I would advise Ms. Ferguson to dial up Ms. Brown, as they have the experience and they have the step-by-step information of dealing with the insurance company to actually achieve the objective of getting a new sign.
Can we share email? Can you all send me her email or send her my email or phone
I have
number?
Miss Ferguson, I have your information. I attended one of your meetings. I don't know if you remember me. I attended one of your meetings at Piccadilly before, and you gave me your information. So I have your information already.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
Sheila, okay. I'm sure
Yeah.
when I see. Is your picture on here?
No, ma'am, but I have I remember because I'm right at the subdivision right behind you.
Right.
Okay, well, if you don't mind sending me that information.
Okay,
and
I'll contact you. Yep,
Thank
I
you
will.
so much. I almost didn't bring this up because I didn't think I would get any help with it, but thank you again.
Oh, come on, Ms. Ferguson. This is what this call is about to do. We're about to connect the things and connect the resources and connect the community, because somebody's problem might have had another problem on the other side, and that's what we do, and that's what we get done, and we rectify it, because you know, I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you this: the scenarios that this community has been through, subject matter experts can walk you through a process, because they have had that same issue. This is a prime example of that. And thank you, Ms. Sheila, for getting that done. And I will ensure that, and I'll follow up with y'all as well to see how that progress is going. So thank you as well. Thank you, Ms. Ferguson, for bringing up your questions. I appreciate you.
Everything is local. That makes a big difference. Thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay.
Next.
We need to move forward, as we have to leave a little bit. We have to leave on time today because Councilman Reed has another commitment at 7:30, and we're going to invite you all to go over and watch that as well. But we have a question from Ms. Miller Mapp. Then we're going to talk to Tracy Fields. And then after that, we need to move forward to Joyce Armster, who is our other guest for tonight.
Yes, Ms. Mapp, go ahead.
Okay, and I apologize if this has come up prior to my joining the call, but I actually have two questions. The first one is regarding Stacks Road Bridge and Mallory Road Bridge. These have been issues that are ongoing for a while. I noticed that they have cleaned up the trash dumping, and that removed the U-Haul truck that was dumped there. But there's still no activity on the bridge at Stacks Road. Can you update us on that?
Yes, ma'am. I did speak about that earlier, and I would be happy to tell you again, is that I walked on the emergency ordinance last week. It has been declared an emergency ordinance and an emergency procurement. The vendor has the contract, waiting for that to be signed off and waiting for a start date. And I've asked for them to work as best they can to complete that within 60 days, or by the time May 1st comes around, which is our birthday, May 1st. And, we turn 5. And so I'm striving for that to happen. So that process is in queue, and staff does have that. And we're just now waiting on the execution and the hard date of a start date, which I anticipate to be within the next 5 to 8 days.
Okay, and what about the Mallory Road Bridge?
The Mallory Road Bridge is still, unfortunately, the materials for the Mallory Road Bridge, from what I'm being told by staff, has not been able to be procured out. So that, and plus that needed to be a little widened, and so that pedestrians can cross over. And so I have asked for a pedestrian bridge, on a secure pedestrian bridge, whether it be on the outside of that bridge or whether it be on the inside, by a concrete block, so pedestrians can walk through. And that requires a little widening, which that's a little bit of more of a capital project, but that whole bridge both bridges really need to be replaced. And
right.
so we're trying to put that on the T-spots too, as to replace those bridges, as well as go after some Georgia money that the federal funds have sent down for infrastructure, specifically for bridges. So I'm gonna see where staff is at applying with that as well. So that's where we are with both of those bridges.
So with the federal money that was awarded with the infrastructure, does South Fulton, did South Fulton get any piece of that?
To my knowledge, I'm not staff. I will ask staff that question, but to my knowledge, we have not as of yet. And so, but I do think that I have put in a request that we would, we go for the money and apply. But I know that we have got a new grants person in place, so that, I know that that's one of the top priority lists for staff. But as to say, have they got it now? No, ma'am, I cannot answer that question authoritatively right now.
Okay, we just need staff to work hard on those issues. My second question is related to the truck parking and whatever update regarding that request that's across the street from Mallory and Highway 29. I see that large mound of dirt is still there.
Right. As far as I know, it's been a stay, and there have been no further movement upon that particular parcel of land, as they did not get the zoning that they requested, or they have not put in the zoning requirements for it to come up before council. So as far as I know, there has been no more movement on that particular parcel of land.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ms. Mapp, I love the new hairdo. It's lovely.
Thank you.
In the chat, Victoria Rogers says we need a solution for the pedestrians on Mallory Road Bridge. I almost hit someone a minute ago. They have nowhere to walk safely.
Correct. I agree with you 100%.
It's very dangerous. It's not only for the pedestrians, and that's number one, but that's the only way that they can get to the bus stop. And this has been since November, since the bridge was compromised. And you cannot have, it's a two-way traffic. You cannot have two-way traffic the way they've narrowed the bridge because of that breach. So it really needs to be an expedited matter.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for that person that brought that pedestrian issue up.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Rogers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ms. Rogers. Okay, so the next question is from Tracy Fields. And actually there's one message. Let me read this real quick. Magnolia Walk 1 and 2 had speed bumps installed in their subdivision a few months ago. Reach out to the HOA president for the subdivision on the process. Okay, so I think that was Ms. Cranford who had that issue. Okay, so Tracy Fields, if you would unmute yourself.
Hi, thank you. Councilman Corey Reeves, thank you for hosting this platform to really give us an opportunity to, share, express, vent, what have you. So I have reached out to your office. I'm sure you saw my name come across your desk in an email related to the pad split situations that are popping up in and around town. And I've reached out to Attorney Hyman just to kind of get some understanding as to, how this type of thing can happen in communities, whether they have an HOA or not. What kind of ordinance is being violated or allowed here in the city of South Fulton, if they have strict laws to no rooming houses, regardless of what they want to call them and how they want to frame it. Who's allowed this to occur? At what point does the community or the neighbors in the area where these are being put up have a say-so, and then all of a sudden you pop up and you have a house with 7 people living in it next to you? And what is the city doing to get this under control?
So thank you so much, Ms. Field, for that. And thank you for your emails, as I am quite aware of this. And this has been an issue that we have been trying to address since mid last year, once we found out about it, because it is a violation of our room house ordinance. However, Pad Split and all their financial wheelhouse have found a legal loophole through being able to have and operate business within municipalities. We are in the sense and in the process of closing those loopholes. And I'm not sure that if Attorney Hyman explained this to you or not, but there's a court case going on now between Pad Split and Riverdale, Georgia, about that legal loophole. And I think that we're waiting on a decision from that judgment, and based on that decision, that's how most municipalities are going to move forward and closing that legal loophole. I want to get it on the books as fast as we can, and so that because it is a complete problem to what's going on. As you know, you have these transient houses and transient people. We don't know what type of rooming or boarding house they're operating out of, or what type of situation, or who they are allowing to come into our communities to rent these rooms. And so that is my main concern that I have, because it to me is a public safety issue, and that I'm trying to present it from that aspect. And so me, along with my colleagues, are very much aware of the situation and is on it. And we're basically, leaning heavy on legal, as what legal recourse do we have to just abruptly stop it now, not just stop it, but abruptly stop it and stop this and get them moved out of our community. So I don't have a solid answer for you right now, as I will have to confer and bring legal on to give you that legal definition on what is going to be done about that. But I'm so with you. And again, thank you so much for your emails and your lengthy emails and very thorough emails on this concern. And so they have not gone unnoticed, and they have not gone unheard, as our attorney and everybody is on this case. And it's particularly with this company Pad Split, because they're the ones who are operating the most within communities. So yes, I agree with you 100%.
Well, thank you for that. That's comforting, knowing that there is something being done and you are just as adamant about it as I am and others are in neighborhoods where they're popping up. And for the people on this Zoom call, if you're not aware of it, you can look up Pad Split, because from my understanding, there's going to be one coming to your community. Other than if you have an HOA, they kind of run into situations with HOAs. But Councilman Reeves, I've already reached out to Attorney Hyman, and he has not responded to me yet. I think he's afraid to, because he doesn't have the legal answers as well, in terms of just explaining the loophole. And on that level of legality, it has to be addressed, because it's not fair to those of us that live in these communities, and all of a sudden you look up and there's 7 strangers living next to you in one house.
Next to you, across the street from you, I'm dealing with that situation. But I promise I want to say what I want to say, but I cannot. I do not.
Well, you can email it to me. You can respond to my email and send it to me.
Right. I will respond to your email, but I'm just gonna put it on my attorney and legal, because I don't want to say anything that's out of order that can get this city
Understood.
in trouble. So I will respond, but I will keep it as clean as I can. I will be honest with you on that, as I'm depending heavy on legal, because I'm literally dealing with this situation next door to where I live. So thank you.
Great. Then we do share something very much in common. So I will continue to check in with you. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. And as this is leading perfectly to our next segment, as you said, deal with HOA. Miss Joyce Armster is on. And she is the president of Old National Area Residents United. And I have an HOA roundtable. And as we get the HOA roundtable, we want that to be expanded And I'm just letting Miss Armster come on and give her spiel about what she does. She is so dynamic and so thorough at what she does and effective. And without further ado, Ms. Armster, you do have the floor and the mic.
Good afternoon to everybody. Hope all is well. I'm really happy about this meeting on Mondays because there's so much information that people don't know about that is very helpful to you. As you said, I'm over ONARU, stands for Old National Area Residents United. And our job is to get information out to all the communities in and around Old National Corridor. We are having our next meeting on March the 24th at our Heritage Park Clubhouse. We will be sending out a flyer from 6 to 7:30. Ms. Phyllis Mentor will be our guest speaker, and she's going to tell you what businesses are coming to the Old National Corridor. And just to relay a little bit on the people that are renting, we deal with that. I'm the chair for the Code Enforcement Board Court. We deal with that a lot. First of all, people don't know that you got to have permits for stuff like that. So if you can call Mr. Brian Morris, he can give you some other guidelines, because we've had people that turn a 4-bedroom house into a 7-bedroom house, and that is against the law. But unless you report, they get away with it. There's just certain things that they cannot do. So I would encourage you to join Old National Area Resident United, because you're going to find out a lot of information on what's going on in and around the city. Our membership is $25 a year. We meet every third Thursday of the month at our clubhouse. And that's it. I can't hear you, Mr. Councilman Reeves.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes. And so I used to be a board member of Old Naru, and Ms. Armster, so we have organized cleanups along Old National, have organized various different meetings, Neighborhood Watch. Captain Toots is very much a part of this. Corporal Garvin, y'all heard about the COP program, the COP in Our Community program. Corporal Garvin and Captain Toots is responsible for that, along with Ms. Armster spearheading this. And so she does a lot, and she's one of our unsung heroes that does a lot for the community, as well as Ms. Sheila, and then also Ms. Victoria Rogers and Ms. Mapp and Ms. Ross and Ms. Collins and Ms. Johnson. And so they are like our eyes and our watchdogs, and they hold us accountable to these standards on which we set forward, as well as they should, and as well as we should be, moving in the direction in which y'all are driving us for quality of life issues, better quality of life issues, paved streets, more lights, more community patrols. And I'm just gonna say that there's strength in numbers, and more so there's strength in numbers in homeowners associations, as I call y'all leaders, as y'all are leaders of these communities. And once leaders get together at this leadership roundtable, it's amazing the outcome, what comes out of these meetings, and the actions and the objectives that are achieved from these meetings. And so, Ms. Armstrong, they would like to for you to put your contact and information in the chat so they can give you a buzz and contact you, join you as, Old National Area Residents United. And so this is all Residents United as one unified voice from districts 5, 6, 7, 1 through 7. It's a citywide deal that I believe is awesome. And I believe the power that yields within that organization is something that will be beneficial to the city as we move forward, as we grow in life 50 years from now, 100 years from now, that, because when y'all unite as one voice, it's a thing that I just believe moving as one voice, you cannot not hear them. You cannot not feel them, as you only have one thing to do, because all excuses have been removed. The barriers of excuses have been removed. And it's only one thing to do, is act, and act accordingly. So That being said, thank you, Ms. Armster, for all that you do, for getting this organization to where it is now. Hopefully you get more people to join, and hopefully that as y'all join and unite as one voice, then, you know, you can just move with, you know, the power that y'all possess, because the power truly is with the people. Just have to know how to harness it and execute and implement. And I just tell you, we just don't do nothing but act accordingly as we move to the beat of your drum. And so that being said, does anybody have anything else that they would like to add this evening? Kristen, does anybody have their hands up? Miss Baker has her hand up.
Okay, I had a problem getting unmuted. This is just a question about the Hateville Charter School and the fact that they have the cameras outside and that they are just giving out tickets hand over fist. And I know, well, better than anybody else that you shouldn't speed through school zones, but it seems like they're going overboard. Can anybody address that?
Yes, I will bring in our police traffic division who handles that, because I know that if you go over the speed limit during the school zone, over 25, they'll give you a ticket. And if you go over a speed limit during that school time period, even when the lights are not flashing over the normal posted speed limit, I'm aware of people getting tickets that way as well. And I know some people have got complaints on getting tickets on the weekend. And so that, which causes a variety of issues, because the collection company, Blue Line, is out of Tennessee, and they have a customer no service policy, I guess, because nobody's able to get in. And next thing you know, they have to go to court to fight the tickets. So I will bring on our subject matter experts to address that issue and see what is being done and updated about what has been done to those complaints.
Okay, Ms. Miller Map, if you want to go ahead and speak.
Yeah. So we've been encouraged to use the C-Click Fix to place into record issues that, are important and need addressing. And I've been doing that, particularly with the Stacks Road and Mallory Road issue, the bridges, and other things that I've seen. The simple things get addressed. The things that are more challenging, like the bridges, I have found don't even get a remark or an acknowledgement. And where that concerns me is the city code enforcement or the various departments that are supposed to respond to those are not responding. And that's where the frustration comes from. It's one thing to send somebody out to pick up litter. That should be done anyway. You shouldn't have to do a C-Click Fix to send someone out to pick up litter and waste. But the important things like a broken bridge or a place where a pedestrian is having to put their lives at risk because they have to cross a bridge, that needs to be addressed right away. But even to be acknowledged, they're not doing it. And so when a city employee is not acknowledging a citizen complaint, somehow that just puts a rock in my shoe. And it shouldn't happen. Why do we have to deal with that? I
am going to tell you now, as I tell everybody, I am not a fan of C-Click Fix, because C-Click Fix doesn't put in a work order for the complaint that has the serious issues, so work orders can never get closed out. So I am truly not a fan of C-Click Fix. I'm, send our city manager other options, other people to call and say they have better systems that will fix and address those issues. So I'm hoping that they she can, look into that and switch over, because C-Click Fix just does not work for our city, as I don't like that program at all. I'm just gonna tell you just the absolute truth. I just am not a fan. It's absolute the worst.
I don't like it either, but that's what we have. So if that's what we have.
We're not gonna get the work order. Well, what I'm saying is, it's not gonna, what you're asking is it generates a work order. That system that we have does not generate a work order to address the bridges and to address those other serious complaints. It's like you get the generic stuff, right? That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not a fan. So it's a system that we have that just, because this is time and time again, because it's not built into the system to address, give work orders to the serious complaints that we do have. That's why. And so, and like your complaints, keep on complaining, because I'm gonna keep on sending it to, i.e. get that system up to date on what our community needs, or get rid of that system. And as soon as my colleagues can get on board, then we can just legislate it to happen. And so I'm just hoping that that'll be the case, because it's just not working for us. I do not believe in C-Click Fix, even though I am aware that's the system we do have, but we're gonna keep getting those same complaints because it's not designed to answer the question that you just had. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and I know you got another place to be, but what is the result then? What do we have? If that doesn't work, how do we get the bridges fixed? Or how do we bring big issues to the persons that are responsible for getting them resolved?
Well, one of the things with Stacks Road Bridge is y'all just keep staying on it, as y'all have been doing. And
it's been 3 years, Councilman, 3 years on Stacks Road.
It's been 2 years.
Before you started getting bids, that bridge has been in and out. Every time it rained, it flooded and it was out. They put up barriers. It's been 3 years. I can tell you since 2018, I promise you.
Now I'm aware of the 2018, but I'm gonna take your word. To get this. I'm not here. I got you. All I'm saying is
it's been close for 2 years, but it's been bad for 3.
I completely understand. I understand. So what we have worked on is that emergency ordinance, so that can get repaired. Again, I am working on the complete replacement of it, but this repair is just for a substitute, as I'm pushing for a complete repair of that bridge with a protected pedestrian walkway as you cross that bridge, that along with that one and Mallory Road, because I do and am aware of those pedestrians. So I thank you for staying on that, Ms. Miller. I thank you, Sister Rogers, for staying on that as well. And I appreciate all that y'all do. Tonight, I am going to have to end at 7:30, and it is 7:30, because I do have to jump on another call with the community. Please jump over on that call as well. And so this is talking about COVID and the relevance to how COVID is played a part and a significant role over the last 2 years in and around our communities. And as you see, my phone is blowing up now, which they are wanting me on. Please switch over. You have the host. If y'all need to talk further, Kristen, Brandy, please handle the conversations and the questions, as I want every question to be asked and answered. And thank y'all again for being the best part of the city of South Fulton. And thank y'all again for taking time out of your day to join us here this night, because you are truly the best part of how we get things done and how we come to a resolve. And if nobody else tells you, I love you, and you can't do nothing about it. So we appreciate you. All right, Kristen, Brandon, y'all have it. Take care, and I will leave y'all. God bless and good evening.
Okay, he will be, we'll be streaming his other event live from his Facebook page. But Ms. Rogers, I know you have a question. If you wanted to go ahead and give me the question, and I'll take it down and make sure we get you an answer.
Good evening. I put a couple, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I put a couple questions.
Everything you put in there.
Oh, you did? Okay, wonderful. So I have one additional concern. It sparked my memory from the C-Click Fix. I'm telling residents, okay, call C-Click Fix, and it is the maybe not the major incidents, but like with animal control and all that we can do is send a letter on behalf of the HOA. But I'm telling them, okay, if they're in violation, file something with See-Click Fix. And when the officers are arriving, they're telling me, oh, go see your HOA president. And so it's against the law to have more than 4 animals. And it's against the law for your dogs to be running around without leash. They're vicious, breeds, considered vicious breeds. And so that is very annoying to where the officers are sending it back. Well, go see your HOA president. So that's just very concerning. All they got to do is do their job. You know what I'm saying? They're found, and not in compliance. The ladies sending videos and all that good stuff to prove what's going on. So it's just a concern. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll take it. Go ahead.
And I just wanted to ask Ms. Oster if she can kind of tell us something about crystals, because I'm not clear about what's going on, but if she has any knowledge of that, I would love to know what's going on with crystals on Old National.
Can't hear you.
Supposedly 2 Chainz is advertising for Crystal, and he's the one that put that up in the window.
Right.
But the code board came and wrote them up and gave them a violation, so they had to take it down.
Right.
So I'm sure we'll be seeing them at court.
Yeah, so I do know a little bit about that. They did file for a permit, but it hadn't been responded to yet. But yes, they are scheduled to go to court for it.
Yeah.
And I can add a little bit to it. I don't know if you all go down to IKEA or Atlantic Station. My understanding that the way that crystals is set up down there off of Northside Drive is what they were intending to do with the crystals up here in our area. So if you're ever down on Northside Drive near IKEA, Atlantic Station, it was supposed to be similar to that layout.
Yeah, so they raised $28,000 or something like that for the kids over there, and they were trying to do something similar to raise money for, I guess, youth programs or something. Okay, are there any other questions or comments, concerns that you'd like us to relay over to Councilman Reeves before we end the call for tonight? Okay, if not, we'll go ahead and say good night. And if you want to see what Councilman is up to, he will be streaming live from his Facebook page. There's an event, it's a COVID education series called Ride the Wave. And so I'm gonna go over now and put it on his Facebook page so you all can see it. Okay, so thank you so much for being here tonight. We love you and we appreciate you, and we hope we see you here next week. Next week, I know we have a member of our nonprofit cohort from South Fulton. He's texting him now. From South Fulton Business Coalition. He'll be on with us next week. And we're looking to get some city officials on as well. So just, keep checking your email and your texts and our social media to see what we have for you. But thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight. And we appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Okay, good night. Good night.